Hey everyone, hope your day is going well. We are back with another reaction. We're going to check out the top 10 1960s protest songs that still resonate today. I imagine, this is of course a very subjective list because there's so many protest songs, especially from that era. So if you have any other additions, let me know. I have reacted to a few protest songs on my music reaction channel, and I definitely want to do some more. Always important, sadly, still very relevant today, as the title of this video suggests. Let's check it out. Let's see if I know some of these. And if I don't, I might have to check out the full versions on my channel. Let's go.
I'm senators, congressmen, please heed the call. We're on the eve of destruction.
What if a song could punch like a fist and heal like a prayer all at once? Back in the 1960s, that wasn't just possible, it was the norm. Some of the most powerful voices of the era weren't politicians or activists, they were musicians. And the protest songs they gave us? They're still shaking walls and stirring souls today.
It's been a long.
Let's dive into 10 unforgettable tracks that didn't just soundtrack the revolution, they were the revolution. 1.
Absolutely.
Blowing in the Wind, Bob Dylan.
Is a blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing.
You can't talk protest music without starting here. Bob Dylan didn't scream, he didn't rage. He asked questions, simple, haunting, and devastating. How many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man?
How many years must a mountain exist?
That lyric wasn't...
That is a great song. I did react to it on my channel. I've reacted to a few Bob Dylan songs, some great protest songs. Yeah, his pen is unmatched, right?
Just poetry. It was a direct jab at a nation wrestling with racism, war, and inequality. Released at the height of the civil rights movement, Blowing in the Wind became a unifying anthem for anyone asking why justice was still so out of reach. Dylan, in his raw, nasally croon, gave a voice to millions who had none. Even now, when you hear that melody drift through your speakers, doesn't it stop you cold? Doesn't it make you wonder why those answers are still blowing in the wind?
Man,
2.
That's heartbreaking.
We Shall Overcome, Pete Seeger.
Right. I do believe I know that song. I might have checked out the Diana Ross version, but I have to explore more of Pete Seeger's music because I do know he has a lot of great songs, protest songs, a lot of substance that still resonates today. And that's a great reminder. Pete Seeger. I'm gonna have to keep his music in mind.
We shall overcome.
If Blowing in the Wind was the question, We Shall Overcome was the promise. Pete Seeger didn't write it, but he elevated it. A reworked gospel tune.
Reworked,
This song became the heart of the civil rights movement. It wasn't angry, it wasn't flashy, it was steady, powerful, and impossible to ignore. You can picture it, can't you? Marchers arm in arm, voices trembling but fierce. Deep in my heart, I do believe.
Deep in my heart.
It didn't just comfort, it called people forward. It dared them to believe that change was not just possible, it was inevitable. More than half a century later, this simple song still echoes in the streets of every modern-day protest. 3. Fortunate Son, Creedence Clearwater Revival.
That's a good one.
Time to get loud. Fortunate Son was a blistering critique of America's class divide during the Vietnam War. Written by John Fogerty, it exploded with frustration. It ain't me, I ain't no senator's son.
It ain't me.
Oh, he even got that accent down a little bit there in that narration. Hey, yeah, this is, a protest song, but also it sounds freaking amazing, doesn't it?
It ain't me. I ain't no senator's son.
Draft cards were burning, and this track poured gasoline on the fire. It wasn't about peace, it was about truth. The ugly kind. The kind that exposed how the rich and powerful got to stay home while the poor were sent overseas to fight. That guitar riff, instant goosebumps. To this day, Fortunate Son isn't just a protest song, it's a war cry against hypocrisy. 4. Ohio, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young.
I don't
One
think
song,
I know that one. Wait
4
a
dead
second.
students. An entire nation rattled.
No. I'm going to have
After
to
the
add
Kent
that to
State
my
shootings,
list.
Neil Young saw the photos and sat down to write. What came out was Ohio, one of the rawest, fastest turned around protest songs in history. Tin soldiers and Nixon's coming.
Tin soldiers and Nixon come. We're finally.
Radio stations tried to ban it. That only made it louder. This
Right.
wasn't subtle.
That's
It
what
named
happens if you
names,
try to
it
do
pointed
that.
fingers. It forced people to face the consequences of power gone rogue. If you've ever wondered what a song written in white-hot grief and fury sounds like, this is it. And it still hits hard. Drop your favorites in the comments. Hit that like button if this trip down memory lane made you feel young again. And be sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the music, movies, and mayhem of decades past. Because the 60s
the link to the original video is in my description if you want to check out this channel. I like this this type of list.
weren't just a moment in time. They were a vibe. And thanks to these songs, the vibe lives on. 5. A change is
that's
gonna
a powerful
come.
one.
Sam Cooke.
A change gonna come. Oh, yeah.
Sam Cooke gave us one
I
of the
have
most
reacted to
soulful,
it as well.
gut-wrenching protest songs of the era without ever raising his voice. He had lived the
That's
pain.
powerful.
He'd been turned away from hotels, insulted in restaurants, arrested without cause. And he took all that pain, all that hope, and poured it into this masterpiece. It's been a long time coming. It wasn't confrontational, it was vulnerable.
It's been a long.
Which somehow made it even more powerful. You don't just listen to this song, you feel it in your chest.
Exactly.
Cooke didn't live long enough to see his prophecy fulfilled, but his voice still whispers through every modern fight for justice. 6. Masters of War,
Oh,
Bob Dylan.
another great one.
Dylan makes the list again, this time with a scathing attack on the military-industrial complex.
I like that a lot. You know, that's a great one. Times Are a Change is another one. Yeah, Dylan, he's the master at it, right? There's so many. I'm actually quite surprised that I know so many of these, or I have reacted to so many of these. Yeah, Masters of War, the War Profiteers. Oh, it really boils my blood and my stomach starts to churn when you think about people making a lot of money off other people dying and starving.
Where Blowin' in the Wind asked questions, Masters of War took the gloves off. You
Yeah.
that build all the bombs,
Oh, for sure.
you that hide behind walls,
You're the build a big bomb. You're the hide behind the wall.
there's nothing
War
poetic
Pigs is
about
another
this
one,
one.
right? War Pigs.
It's a
come
lyrical
on.
sledgehammer.
Black Sabbath.
He wasn't singing to the
R.I.P. Ozzy.
masses, he was singing at the people in power. The men behind the curtains pulling the strings, sending young soldiers off to die. It's eerie how this song feels just as relevant in a post-9/11 world as it did during Vietnam. 7. Eve of Destruction, Barry
I don't
Maguire.
know that one.
We're on the eve of destruction.
Angry, apocalyptic, impossible to ignore. Eve of Destruction sounded like the end of the world. And maybe that was the point. Maguire's voice was pure gravel, spitting out lyrics that touched every nerve of the 1960s. Racial tension, war, hypocrisy, fear. You're old enough to kill, but not for voting. Can you believe that line was once controversial?
They're old enough to kill, but not for voting. It don't believe.
It's true.
The song was banned from some radio stations. Teens blasted it anyway. Because sometimes what parents hate, kids know they need. And if it feels like we're still living on the edge of destruction today, well, that's why this song still matters. 8. What's Going On? Marvin
Ooh,
Gaye.
Yeah.
What's going on in school? What's going on in school?
Okay, this one slipped just barely out of the 60s, but we have to include it.
When was this
Marvin
released?
Gaye was Motown royalty, but he'd seen too much. The war, the protests, the poverty, the pain. And so he asked the world, Mother, Mother, there's too many of you crying. This wasn't a scream, it was a plea. a lament, and it shook Motown's foundations to the core. It blended soul, jazz, gospel, and pure heartbreak. And the best part? It worked. People listened. The industry changed, and Marvin Gaye became a symbol of what happens when an artist stops entertaining and starts testifying. 9. Universal Soldier, Buffy
I
Sainte-Marie.
don't know that one either. I only know the movie with the same name, which is, of course, totally different. But of course, my mind went there as a movie fan. But I haven't heard this song. Another one I have to keep in mind.
He's the universal soldier, and he really is to blame.
This one hits different. Buffy Sainte-Marie, a Cree singer-songwriter, pulled back the curtain on a truth most didn't want to face. Wars don't happen without soldiers, and those soldiers are often pawns, used and discarded. He's the one who gives his body as a weapon of the war.
Gives his body as a weapon to a war, and without him.
There's no anger in her voice, just sadness.
Mm,
And that sadness, it lands like a thunderclap.
it's heartbreaking.
Few songs have ever painted such a clear picture of how personal war really is. And in a world still sending young people to fight battles they didn't start, Universal Soldier still matters. A lot. 10. The
Oh, there
Times
it
They
is.
Are
Oh,
a-Changin',
yeah, man.
Bob
That's
Dylan.
one of my favorites.
Times they are a-changin'.
Yeah, Dylan again. What can we say? The man was a movement. This song
Yeah.
is prophecy set to guitar. Come, senators, congressmen, please heed the call.
Some senators, congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand.
It was a warning, a promise, a line in the sand, and guess what? The times did change. Slowly, painfully, but they did. And they're still changing.
They always do.
Dylan's genius wasn't just in his
Not
words,
always
it was
for the
in
better,
his
though.
timing. This song landed like a bomb right when the old guard was scrambling to hold on to power. Decades later, it's still a favorite chant of climate activists, student protesters, and anyone who knows the world can be better than this. The legacy lives on. So, what ties all these songs together? It's not just their lyrics, not just their melodies, it's their courage. Each track was a risk, some were banned,
100%.
others mocked. Some even led to artists being blacklisted, but they sang anyway. They knew music could go places speeches couldn't. It could slip past defenses. It could rattle the bones of the powerful and cradle the hearts of the powerless. These 10 songs didn't just reflect history, they helped make it. And more importantly, they're not done yet. Now it's your turn. Don't just watch this video and say, wow, those were the days. Make these the days. Revisit these tracks. Share them with your kids, your grandkids, your coworkers, your barista, anyone who'll listen.
Barista.
Better yet, write your own. Protest music didn't die in the 60s. It lives in every beat that dares to ask why and every chorus that screams enough. Whether you're 35 or 70, it's never too late to raise your voice or your volume. So next time the world feels too heavy, too dark, too broken, turn up the music. Because the answers, the hope, the rebellion, it's all still blowing in the wind.
Hey, that's nice. Yeah, for
Too
sure.
broken.
And I definitely try to do that with the channel. You know, some of the stuff we see on a daily basis and hear about, it gets you down. It does get you down, and you feel powerless. Uh, it's it's disheartening at times, you know, and it feels overwhelming. And the music really does affect you in very very powerful ways. And also for me personally, that's of course me getting to share some of that journey with other people with this channel and with these two channels. It's a big help, you know, because you see so many people commenting, feeling the same. And I mean, it doesn't really change anything, but it does give you a little bit of hope that, okay, it's not all bad, you know, because sometimes when you go on social media, you scroll and you start to look at some of these comments or, you know, under certain posts, and then you think, or under YouTube videos, like, oh, wow, uh, we're lost, we're doomed. You know, sometimes when you get into a certain rabbit hole or an algorithm, and then I go to the comments on some of these songs that I react to, or other songs, you know, that are healing and unifying. It's, oh, yeah. Okay, there's the good in mankind. I see it every day, which is for me personally a very, very big help. Yeah, man, these are songs resonate a lot, and I there's a couple in there that I wasn't aware of that I need to check out. And if you have any other recommendations for these type of songs, let me know. And yeah, I mentioned War Pigs, but I was that was maybe not in the '60s. When was that released? Maybe in the early '70s or '70. So yeah, that's another great one. But there's a lot. So let me know. Thank you so much for being here, for your time. Wish you a great day. Stay safe and peace.